Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today, we have Dr. Daniele Gambero. He's a propenomist and also an alchemist. He's a digital marketer, international speaker, and a published best-selling author. He is the founder and CEO of the REI Group of Companies, or REI Group of Companies. And today, let's welcome him on board. Good morning, Dr. Gambero. How are you?
Morning, Ernest. I am very good, thank you, even though a bit limited within my home spaces. Please all stay home.
Can I ask you, what have you been doing for the last 2.5 weeks at home? How have you been taking this to?
I've been working 4 times more than usual, Ernest. I've been online meeting with my team, with my partners, I'm actually expanding very much the range of my reach in the region, in UK and in Australia. Digital transformation, full speed, full throttle.
So it basically means that the MCO has forced you to adopt digitization, and your partners as well, in a much more rapid point of view. So compressed.
Exactly. The movement control order has been forcing, I would say, most of the people blocked at home to start embracing this new wave of digitalize their own business and this new way of working, which is good. It's good. I'm actually very, very happy, very satisfied. I don't know if I will still need the office after MCO.
Okay, big transformation. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Doctor, do you think that these new experiences that people around the world are experiencing, because I think the MCO is not just for Malaysia, it's actually across the region and also around the world. Do you think that the old way of doing business, the old normal, a lot of it will still remain into the new normal, or most of it will remain, or the new normal will be just completely different?
Okay, we are talking about the outlook and forecast. Yesterday, I was putting down some ideas for an article where one thing comes always up to my mind. To me, I look at what is happening not only in Malaysia, but in the whole world as something that has never happened before. It's the first time in mankind history, right? It never happened before. We do not have precedent cases to study. We do not have any idea of what will be the outcome. Yesterday, I was reading a report from The Economist forecasting a huge drop of the GDP. Allow me to say, based on which modeling? Based on which historic references? There is nothing. The world was already at a kind of a bit unbalanced point before the MCO, last year in December, early January this year. Then the COVID-19 came up in China. From China, expanded in the region, expanded to Europe. My Kampung country was hit, has been hit, and is still hit very badly. And then now is exploding like a nuke, practically, in US. We see the numbers there going and flying very high every single day. People are blocked at home, meaning they are not spending, meaning their savings in the banks are probably rising for the majority of people. Yes, there are huge question marks on the future of jobs. How secure will be our jobs after this pandemic? But if you are smart, if you are digitalizing yourself, if micro businesses, small SME, medium SMEs, corporations are sharply moving towards digitalization, adopting and embracing full force, flexible working time, work from home, smart work, I would say that we will see a totally different and more modern world at the end of this. One thing only, I hope, I really pray God that governments around the world will start embracing to this type of this new way of doing business and communicating. Why I'm saying that? Because I hope and I would love to see in the next 5 years, government, not only in Malaysia, but all around the world, start talking about smart infrastructures. No more highways, no more MRT, but hyper-speed internet, optic fiber cabling and wiring up of the whole city, of the whole countries. This is what the people needed to work from home. Here in Malaysia, a couple of nights ago, internet crashed. The bandwidth was not enough for the traffic. We are having problems. Sometimes we are hanging here and there in Zoom or in Hangout or in all these communication tools. So government needs to come in and help in a very fast way and prompt way on this point of view, I think. But definitely the world as it was, I do not believe it will come back.
Doctor, also aside from fiberization and the increase in speed of connectivity, I think the rules, regulation and laws also need to change. Do you think that, the policies for e-signatures, the policies for even blockchain, the policies for even the democratization of how money is transferred needs to all look at different ways of digitizing it in order for all these new businesses or new ways of doing it will actually be supported moving forward?
I believe so. I believe that the government will look into this. I hope they will look into it in a very fast way. I fully agree with you. PropTech, FinTech, you know that I'm the Deputy President of the Malaysian PropTech Association. We have been talking for ages with the government, asking them to update the laws and the acts to this new reality. Now, this new reality, which a lot of people have been contracting for the last several years, is a new normal.
Doctor, can I just ask you, with the new normal happening, do you think that the demand for ownership of property will change? There will, I think, people still wanting to live in homes, but will the demand to own homes change, or will home ownership take a different form?
Again, no precedent cases to be studied, so it's very personal what I'm saying. I still believe in home ownership. I still believe in the desire that most people have, not only in Malaysia but all around the world, of owning their own dwelling, those four walls and a ceiling. However, pandemic and the consequent lockdown, which is almost worldwide, I would say that probably I have been reading somewhere that almost 3 billion people around the world are locked inside their houses. And that number should be actually rising if we want to close this pandemic in a very short term. With this, we are realizing that probably what we were calling home might not be any longer what we want to call home in future. Meaning, you look at those very small units, the 500, the 600 square feet, where in some cases people are staying in with the wife, with the kids. Honestly, I can still remember when I was young, my father was talking to me about relationship and how relationship might be becoming very tense in a forcibly small environment. Meaning, imagine 4 friends for life decide to do a transailing of the Atlantic Ocean. And they say the 4 of them, and they have been fantastic friends all their life, but they will stay for 30 to 40 days on a small sailing boat, without the possibility of jumping out. That means personal relationship will be tested at the highest level. The smaller is the environment, the higher is the risk of relationship crisis, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yes.
Comes the time, comes the day, I cannot take you any longer, you cannot take me any longer. Kind of. So one of the outcome of this forcibly living together type of period, full-time living together period, might be the choice of young couple in future to look for a bit bigger homes. There might be a drop in the demand of the studio unit and a rise in the demand of those units that we all have been talking about. How many times we have been discussing between the two of us, the ideal size of 900,000, 1,002 square feet for a family of 4 to 5 people, 3 bedroom, out of which one can become a working studio. If we look at the work from home, how can you work from home in a 500 square feet studio? If he's preparing food, preparing the table for dinner, and you have to move all your business on the sofa. Then the kids wants to watch TV, and then you have to move where? You go in the bathroom and work in the bathroom? Come on, lad.
I think what you said is absolutely very true, and it's also very practical. It is impossible to have a family of 2, 3, 4 in a 400 square footer and try to also work from it at the same time. But if you actually look at it from a design point of view, if the place that you own is just a place for you to rest and sleep, but there is actually communal space that you can work in, that you are able to move around, and as you said just now, instead of a sailboat, maybe a sailboat and another adjacent sailboat, you can just go there because you just want to chill out from your 4 friends or your 3 friends. I think that could be very healthy. So I agree with what you're saying, Doctor, in the sense that maybe properties that will be of greater demand, now that people have had the experience of staying at home for extended periods of time, they realize that I can work from home, I need to work from home, I need to also have some personal space, I need to have some space whereby I can chill out without anybody rather than just being locked up in the toilet. And I need to probably also a bit more space for maybe some morning exercises just to get rid of the energy that you have and you can't do anything for. So all these spaces become all of a sudden very important, as opposed to just a key, a house, you go back and sleep, the next day you go back to work. So lifestyle is very different moving forward.
I absolutely agree with you.
In this digitized economy, or in this more digitized world, do you think and see that the population within Malaysia, even though they're very, very young, a lot of them are actually below the age of 30, do you see a lot of movement of these individuals outside Malaysia to work? Do you see a lot of them leaving Malaysia to work and earn foreign currency, may or may not necessarily come back? And if you see that, then what happens to property demand here?
No, honestly, I have been seeing in the last, I have been here in Malaysia for 22 years. I came in 1998. And I have been actually seeing in the last 2-3 years a kind of inverse trend, as if the way of thinking of a lot of Malaysians about all the young ones has been U-turning. Malaysia is a beautiful country, all right? And I was discussing yesterday with another expatriate. We were discussing over a Zoom. Let's have a very practical and truthful view into what happened in the last 4 5 weeks, all right? We had 4 5 weeks, say today is what, the 10th? In about 5-6 weeks. The past 5-6 weeks, what happened in Malaysia? We had the resignation of the PH government. We had an interim prime minister who found himself as an interim prime minister with the need of handling the COVID-19 pandemic. The response has been salute him, honestly. Salute him because the way the government has been enforcing the movement control order, regulating it, and allow me to say, the way most Malaysians have been responding to it has been showing the maturity of this country and of the Malaysian population. You compare how we are reacting to how United States or some of the Europeans have been reacting to the movement control. I salute Malaysia, I salute Malaysians, honestly, and I'm very happy to be here. Now, what I'm thinking as an expatriate is exactly what a lot of young Malaysians are thinking about their own country. So the desire to move overseas, to go in more beautiful countries, is now cooling down a bit, and the desire to see Malaysia doing better, going from good to much better, is very strong in the young generation. And I do not foresee huge outgoing movement. On the contrary, allow me to say, I will say that I'm expecting, I cannot say I'm foreseeing because again, there are no precedents, but I'm expecting a lot of foreigners, above all within my age group, the third age group, the baby boomer, right after this whole thing will be over, to start looking around for safer places where to live. Malaysia in Southeast Asia is a country which has a very low density of population. If I am a 70 years old person, I am a bit concerned about the risk of getting infected. Let's be very practical, Ernest. Let's look into what happened in the last 20 years in terms of health threat. We had SARS, we have MERS, we have now COVID-19. What comes next? If I am an elderly, not fully active person, I will definitely look around for a country which allows me to have what I need in a safe environment. And Malaysia in Southeast Asia is one of the countries with the lowest density of population. So I can come over here, buy my small landed property, enjoy my next 10, 15, 20 years, eating fantastic food, being surrounded with fantastic people, and the third age retirement village type of development concept. It was coming up before the COVID, and let's say in the last 2 years, it started becoming a strong trend for developers. I've been doing a number of feasibility studies. I've been presenting about third age retirement village to a lot of developers, and it's now becoming a concrete and real demand. It's going to grow, personally.
I really like your narrative, and I think there's also, I agree with you, there's a lot more potential here that the younger Malaysians can capitalize on moving forward. I just wanted to tap your thoughts in terms of the digitized economy and the new digitized economy. Do you think that the popular hotspots that a lot of Malaysians aspire to own properties at, the A-grade addresses, the A-grade locations, do you think the demand will still be consistently stronger in that areas? Because people may look at, as long as my home is very well connected, I have access to connectivity, I have access to transportation, I have access to an app that can deliver food now because the new normal is here. Do you think that the fringes of the Klang Valley and also the Penang and JB will now also get more and more interest as opposed to everybody just wanting to be in the A-grade addresses? What do you think, Doctor?
Absolutely, absolutely yes. Providing the infrastructure we were discussing about less than 10 minutes ago are there, are in position. Being very honest with you, Ernest, I was saying it as a joke. I don't think we need an office any longer. Our group this weekend is going to launch a new online platform which has been built during this COVID-19 MCO by people living in their houses, talking to each other through Zoom, and none of them living in the Golden Triangle. We even had input from UK. So where is the point for me to receive? If the big corporations are able to really embrace this new technological wave, the way of living, the way of staying at home and working from home, the way of being able to manage and to plan your own time accordingly to the deliverable that you have to deliver to your business owner, to your employer, and the needs that you have for your family, will definitely change radically the way we have been looking at properties, the way we have been running after those super prime location, super prime, and yeah, location is still an important point. I would say that my 5G is probably more important.
Understood. Understood. Doctor, I just want you to wear the hat of a developer for the time being, just for this next question. If you wanted to be a developer that has products that essentially will be very well accepted by the new buyer based on this experience at MCO, what would be some of the key features that you would definitely say, this is standard? This will be the new standard of my development.
Smart homes. Smart homes will be something that I will impose as a must-have. Now, watch it. A lot of people talk about smart homes without actually knowing what exactly smart homes are. Smart homes doesn't mean a home with optical fiber. Optical fiber alone is not smart home. It doesn't mean the small computer that allows you to calibrate and regulate the lighting. No. Smart home is much more than that. Smart home is enforcing within your living environment IoT, Internet of Things, connected to the big data which optical fiber will bring to your home. There are devices that you can buy, whoever can buy online, costing a few hundred Malaysian ringgit, which will tell you when the air in your house is not anymore healthy and advise you to open up your window. When your consumption of electricity is too high. Smart homes means also very respectful homes of the environment, surrounding environment. So smart home is much, much more of the simple basic concept that a lot of developers have been enforcing and been embracing in the past 5, 6, 7 years. Smart home, smart cities. We know that unfortunately we do not have smart cities in Malaysia yet. Still to come, kind of. We talk about it, but the infrastructures are not there and the mindset of people is not there. So smart home, smart cities, sustainable development goal 2030, 3 things that mix together will make whichever development I will decide to go for as a developer highly successful. Young generation are concerned about climate change, are concerned about the environment, are concerned about a lot of third party happening. So SDG 2030 must be embraced by me as a developer. Smart home within future smart city is a must. That is what I will 100% focus my attention on.
I think you're quite right, Doctor. A lot of messages that I've also been catching and what I've been reading is that the demands are definitely strong connectivity, the ability to work wherever, flexibility in telling, or the devices telling me what I should do next or what is dangerous. And the next pandemic, if any, touch wood, if it were to strike, then how do I prepare for that as well? That's going to be very important. Well done.
Yeah, another thing that we might be seeing as a huge change after this pandemic and the forced work from home situation extended for several weeks is possibly, I hope not for them, of course, but possibly a huge drop in the demand of co-working space. I don't need any longer a co-working space. I can do it from home. I save money.
There was a discussion earlier with some of the retail owners, retail store owners, and that I had caught, and they were saying that they were also wanting to use some of their spaces and convert it for people to meet up and work there as well. They had all the convenience together, but I think they still have to address the fact that people coming together may still pose a threat if, for instance, there is a challenge in the health.
I fully agree. The social distancing type of mindset that is coming in as a life treat or life saving, depending on how you distance yourself from others, issue will definitely change the way we were used to go for shopping, for movie, for all these things. Retail industry is going to be badly hit by this pandemic. It might be possible that the pandemic will help retailers to reinvent their business. There is a model that I've been presenting not long ago to a developer in the south of Malaysia, in Johor Bahru, in Iskandar, Malaysia. The new retail wave, retail and shopping mall concept is it has to be an entertainment place, it has to be an F&B place, it has to be a place creating a new experience for the visitors. But then the visitors will drop by small retail outlet, not to buy, but just to see, touch, feel, and try. Understand which is my right size. So the space that outlets are having now, we shrink to a smaller one. No need to have any stock any longer. I go to the shop, I like what I see, I try it, I feel it, I buy it. The thing is going to be delivered either to the exit of the mall from a far away type of logistic hub, or the day after to my house. That is how I can imagine the future of retail. But definitely, this COVID-19 thingy, with all the pain that has been bringing, and I'm suffering, I'm feeling it for Europe, for US. I have plenty of friends, my family, my past family, my ex-family, sorry, my ex-wife, and my kids are living in Europe, are living in Italy. I'm very concerned about them. But still, let's look at it in a futuristic way, in a positive way. Look at the number of opportunities that this MCO and this pandemic are bringing up for everyone to grab. Are unbelievable, Ernest, unbelievable. And the society, the way we knew, I don't think it will come back. The way of having social life is not going to be back as fast as we expect. And even though it's coming back, it might be really changing drastically our habits.
Well, Doctor, what you say is absolutely, it makes a lot of sense. It also makes gives a lot of hope to the people who are willing to embrace the change and to accept that this new normal is not just going to be a temporary thing, but it is going to be something that will be taking us into the future as well. And whatever and however we've been doing things in the past, and all the assumptions may have to be revisited again because it may not suit us taking it forward. Doctor, last thoughts that I wanted to ask from you is this. Where do you see Malaysia 5 years, 10 years from now in terms of real estate and real estate's usage based on what we see in COVID and what we see in MCO? 5 to 10 years, what's your projection?
Pretty much positive on what I was mentioning just now. One of the main markets that I can foresee for the future is health-related, third age health-related project. Call it third age retirement village, call it retirement village, retirement centers, something that moves away from the current concept of old folks home, right? Something more happening, more trendy, where people will be taken care of in a much better way. So this is one of the direction I can foresee. I can see Malaysia becoming more and more in the next 5 to 10 years as the happening hub of Southeast Asia. Malaysia is the second most developed country in the region. We are the second country by per capita income. And our per capita income, I am expecting it to grow exponentially in the next 3 to 5 years because of the pandemic. Meaning, a lot of young people are discovering that beside the 8 to 5 type of job, this forced staying at home is offering them opportunities for a second or a third source of income. It can be an online e-commerce hub. It can be the platform that we are launching this coming weekend, which is going to become a bit of a grab for services. We are placing on the same digital platform seeker hunters of digital services, call them digital marketing, call them graphic design, call them whatever type of service which can be delivered online, and seeker of this type of service, provider and seeker. So they will have the possibility to talk to each other and match each other on a digital platform. People are moving towards this direction. So that is something that will raise the purchasing power of our 12, 15, 16 million employees that we have, which will reduce the costs for all the micro SMEs and medium SMEs. You know that we have 1 million SMEs in Malaysia, contributing for almost 40% to our GDP. Now, in making these companies will be finally able to rise 5 to 10% their profit because of the compression of cost using external supplier of services instead of having inside supplier of services. This wealth creation will allow people to invest in properties. Which type of properties? Retirement village, homes, which can really be called homes, the size that we were discussing about at the beginning of our chat. Tourism related product, combined with the third age, hotspot like Penang, like Kota Kinabalu, like Kuching, like Malacca, and other to come up soon, will definitely be on the search list. Why? Because Malaysia is a safe place where to be for international visitors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So I see the tourism and hospitality industry. I see the healthcare and somehow aged care industry. I see the huge opportunity that youngs will have in buying a house. Just one thing to keep in mind: a house is an asset that will last for all your life. You don't want to buy a house because you say, oh, I am a Gen Zer or I'm a millennial. I don't need to buy a house. I am a rent generation. Please come to me. I will be happy to be your landlord because you will be paying my loan. Be smart. Young people, be smart. Don't pay third-party loan. Pay your own loan. Put aside an asset because properties in Malaysia within the next 10, 15 years will shoot up to much higher values. Has always been happening all around the world when a country moves from a almost fully developed status to a fully developed.
Let alone the HSR coming in, and when the HSR does come in, there's another push again. That's going to be a lot of opportunity there as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Fully agree with you. Fully agree with you. I hope to see HSR, ECRL, and even MRT Line 3 coming in soon. Construction industry driven by the government is what will push Malaysia to the next level.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you. Thank you to you, Adam.
Yeah. Wish you all the very best and good luck with your platform.
It has been great. Same to you. Thanks for the wishes. Stay home and stay safe.